Peace.
Peace. My name is Rob Regis, aka Faded Art Lord.
It's RVGOD Zilla, Chief Rocker RVGOD. It's ZillaBombBeach type shit right here, bro.
The Fight For ZillaBombBeach. And that tape was something we've been trying to make since like we got out of high school. We were trying to do a tape together. And you sent me a track, and then that track, just us working on it, is what like started it, where we should just be like, all right, let's just make a whole project together.
Do it like that. Yeah, this project right here goes back quite a ways back. Like, I want to say maybe like 2008, because that's like when we were like really
2009,
like taking off and shit, or at least like that's when I first started like writing.
I feel like this tape it's like us piloting our way into a new version of our old styles. So it's almost like reinventing like the format. So it's just coming at it differently than how we usually did stuff, and actually working on tracks together versus just like filling the gap on stuff.
You know, going back and forth, like, you know, oh, you put a verse down, all right, you put a verse down. Like, I feel like this is the project that like centers both you know, your style, my style, and like amalgamated, and then now like it's like a whole like, what's that shit? Tetsuo from fucking
Akira.
From Akira, yeah, like a whole
Just
blob
like
type shit going down there.
And the production works well, like making either the beats on the spot or just picking through like some stuff.
Yeah, this project right here is definitely like on just like I'll say like a post-contemporary sense of our environment, of what we going through right now. Between like systems and shit, between the audience's
attention span
for real, and like how to navigate through music that's not just like some, you know, short, you know what I mean, like short syllabic time, you know, type of time, you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no like cat hat, bat jack, black, you know what I mean? This ain't nothing like that. So how do you give the listener something that's more than what they, you know, more than what they are used to, but then also hold your integrity, your creativity, your time into a sense that like now, like once this is recorded, it's timeless, because you can't go back after that. You know what I'm saying?
Streaming makes it better because it's not like you drop it and that's it. Like you can put something to it like a year later, a month later, a week after you release it, and just keep adding to it. I feel like even with just your verses, like it's something that expands like its own universe almost. So it's like there's references to either a bar of another song of another project, or a certain reference to a sample in the track, or just different things that it makes you want to dive further into it, or even like, yo, I don't know what the fuck this is, I don't even understand it, but I'm gonna play it again because like I want to understand it, I want to get to the source material. And like I just think that's what the project is, like 11 tracks of just like digging into the whole coding of language, I think, and just like that's what makes it like rap, like in general, like so dope. It's just like everyone can have a spin, like their own style to it,
their own aesthetic and shit.
Yeah.
And where like you just, you know what I mean? It's one of the things where like you're not just like, you get kind of like tired of listening to like just like rhymes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to listen to like
burn you out.
Yeah. I just always think it's like really interesting to hear somebody like, okay, for instance, like Kool Keith or Doom or Prodigy from Mobb Deep. Like these cats, they barely rhyming.
Yeah, it's the cadence. It's the cadence of what they said. Even Raekwon has some stuff like that where the rhymes aren't like directly after each other, but it's like, oh, 3-4 bars down, you're connecting the rhyme to something else. But it's because I'm getting the whole idea off, and you're just paying attention because it's like still matching the rhythm, still catching the beat.
I always like his shit. Like his shit always remind me of like hieroglyphics and shit. Where you listening to the shit, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like like hieroglyphics is something that you see because somebody, you know what I mean? Somebody put it up on the wall, like like graffiti and shit. So like it's different to like hear something that it's in the English language or it's in a language that most people understand,
but they take for granted.
You're
not really thinking of the language you use every day. So that's what makes it fun. That's why it's like you're right, because you're making something timeless because there's effort to it.
Because like this shit, you could play this 2022, 2052, 2047, 2063. Like you know what I mean? Like it's never going to be dated because of there's a whole culture around, you know what I mean, around it. That's not just like somebody that's just like, rapping to rap. That's somebody that's thinking about what they talking about,
That's what I was thinking of. The vibe for this project is just like almost a collective or like a collection of songs, but the cohesion is what works, even though it's all the same people, and then like a couple people jumping in the mix, because we have Six Cardinal, Wex, Cleo, Makai, and Really Bang.
And you got like all these like different people that have different aesthetics, different sounds, different styles to their voice and shit. So it's almost like you know who this is just by hearing it, because they don't sound like anybody else, that you ever heard of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, each track, each person comes with their own thing without, like, even coming off of tracks where there's no hooks, it'll just be like, all right, I'm jumping in right where you ended off. You can still differentiate who is who or what they're gonna do with it, because I think everybody writes to the tracks differently. Everybody hits it.
That's for real.
Fight For ZillaBombBeach is dropping on Halloween, so 10/31/22.
Last
you
day.
Stream that shit everywhere, every platform. It's gonna be out. It's got production by 90 Culture, featuring RVGOD, myself, and then we got Makai, Ryan, Six Cardinal, Antidote, Cleo, Wex the Master. Like, it's a dope project. You just come check that out.
Go get that. Check it out. See what we're about. Though you might feel like you just going through the motions and shit throughout the day, you already know, like, you already have like a predetermined like trajectory on what you're gonna do that day. That's all a part of a system. Going through life, especially at this point in time, and honestly for
Forward.
you know what I'm saying? Like, for quite a while, like, we're going to be dealing with so many different elements and influences and intensities that could easily just make you feel like, damn, I don't know if I can make it. You know what I'm saying? There's so much more to life than little arguments and, disagreements.
And you're not gonna remember it in like a year, 2 years, and 5 years, and
You're
10
not.
years. You're not even gonna remember it.
But you know what's gonna always be in the background? Your phone, your computer. Different data collections from that's going to different big tech companies. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that, like, you have to think about and how to fight against that. Different strategies that you could be able to, come up on, where you're able to just make sure that, like, okay, whatever I'm consenting to, I'm literally consenting to. Instead of just like, I'll just go to the, TOS, terms of service and stuff like that because I want the app. Nah, like you gotta be a lot more strategic with the things that you're doing because companies, they doing that. You know what I'm saying?
They want your privacy. Privacy is like the real currency. Because like everyone was willing to hold on to that shit. Now the internet's so convenient, then that's what you give up is privacy for convenience. And it's like, that's why old people, like older as will just be like so surprised. It's like, you're gonna give up? Like, I would never sign this. I would never give up this, or I would never allow my privacy to be sold, or But that's the game. Like,
that's what
until you can make yourself a bigger part of it or a bigger player into how you move and navigate things to protect yourself, protect your people, and like inform people, because all you can do is really pass things down to the next wave of people.
Information.
Because schools don't teach you nothing.
No.
Then the thing is, you just
study
get
for
the
a test.
Well, that test, or to just be compliant. So how to be a worker. But if you take just the basic tools and then expand with what you want to do or what your vision is, or take the time to even find a vision, because you might not have one. So if you just take that time and take the tools that's there, you can do something with it versus, like, I didn't learn that. And then that's where stuff stops, and it's like, they put this shit right in your pocket. Then you can learn everything that there is to learn. Like, it doesn't have to stop. So it's like, it's really on you. Like, even no matter what people say or do, like, you're still the one that has to do it. You're still the one that has to look for things and actually put the things in motion. So it's like people can't hold you back from something that you want, or if you know what's best for you, then you can work it, especially if you're not hurting nobody. Then you take that shit to the max.
So you just, on a larger scale, right? In your pocket, you have one of the most important pieces of technology in your pocket right now through all of human history.
Right?
You could go on the web right now and find out like, you could find out anything. You know what I mean? Like, you could find out so many different things. Like, you could find out when dinosaurs were, like, walking the earth, to when the Patriot Act came out. You know what I'm saying? And that's the other thing. The Patriot Act there's an actual...
More about your own government.
acronym for it. So it's like, there's things that you could be able to search right now and learn and develop and grow through those, just by being on your phone. You could read books on your phone. You could look at debates on your phone. You could write theses off your phone. Like, there's so many different things that you could do with your phone other than going on IG or going on Snap or going on Twitter. Like, there's so many different things, but you have to already be aware of that and then try to move forward.
Yeah, treat it like a tool. When you treat things like a tool versus like a free-for-all, there's like a different discipline in it.
You have an intention.
Yeah, there's a different way of how you participate in everything, and then how you interact with the people on there. Because I just feel like when I was in school, bro, that's things they taught you was like internet literacy and like how to read fact and what's made up or whatever, and like how to differentiate. And it's like, that's like gone. And the weirder part is the people that's older than us that tapped the internet never had that, because the internet for them wasn't
it wasn't on the scale.
Like that.
Yeah, it wasn't on the scale.
It wasn't on the scale where it's like,
so
my job doesn't need the internet, then I don't need to have the internet. Versus like our generation is the middle, where we gotta cross over to where it became a part of everyday life. But we also know the time where they were still trying to figure out dial-up and shit like that.
So just, I just think it's one of those things where like through your day, have more intention with the things that you're doing throughout your day. Cause that's the most important thing.
Yeah, do things with purpose.
Trying to become like the potential that you could reach, or even going beyond that horizon of potentiality. Like, you have so much resources right now that you could tap into. There's no reason why you should just be, oh no, what I want to do in my life. There's so many different things that you could do. Try to find at least one. Ain't nobody saying you gotta do 5 things and shit like that. That's very good. That's very beneficial.
That's what it is. Like,
but like, try to get one thing down. Once you get one thing down, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? There's so many different avenues that you could take to be able to get to the place that you need to go.
Especially if it builds discipline, because then that just carries on into whatever you do. Like, that goes into work ethic. It goes into like whatever you actually are participating in. It'll show what helps you stand out. Because not everybody gives everything 100%. So
that's definitely like a jewel right there. That's definitely a gem that like try to live by. You know what I'm saying? Because think of it like this: nothing is set in stone. There's always, especially for humans, you're always able to become whatever you want to become. Like, there's no set date. So why act like there's a set date to whatever?
Yeah, things aren't promised, but if you're in the present doing the things you need to do, like, what can really stop you? Just like if things are like going crazy, bro, no matter what time it is, I just go, it's still early enough in the day that things could be changed. Like, you can turn something around. It'll be like 9 o'clock at night. It's like, nah, something gotta shake, bro. Like,
you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you gotta want it, and once you have that framework of wanting to be determined to get to something, bro, like, the world is yours, and like, ain't nobody could like really just like put the clamps down on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you if you have that determination, you can get anywhere. But you gotta want it first. You know what I'm saying?
It's Rob Regis at Rob_Regis. Shout out, respect the vibe. The Fight For ZillaBombBeach coming very soon.
Peace, yo. Peace. It's Chief Rob RVGOD. Respect the vibe, yo. Respect the vibe. Shouts out to them and shit, yo. The Fight For ZillaBombBeach. Coming out October 31st. Halloween. Go get that. Hieroglyphics for you and shit, bro. Peace.